For many of us, it's hard to fully grasp the reality of what happened during the US presidential election last night.
Yes, I know, Anita. Donald Trump has been tried and convicted by a jury of feminists of over 38 million counts of first-degree wrongthink.
The entire world was watching because the political and cultural effects of this election, perhaps more than any other election in recent history, will send shockwaves across the globe.
Being the filthy degenerate that I am, I heard shockwaves and I immediately started to think of something else.
And as the world was watching, we lost.
Le who? The her.
The results of the election were a stark reminder that we still live in a white supremacist, patriarchal nation.
Do you know who this is? His name is Barack Obama. Do you know what he's famous for? He is famous for being the President of the United States. But just look at him for a minute. What do you see? He's black! So Anita, you're telling me that a group of white supremacists elected a black man as president, not once, but twice? And while no woman has ever become president, 37 women have become governors of various states and one territory. Would a patriarchal society allow such a thing to happen, Anita?
Progressivism, economic equality, and human rights took a beating.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you're sounding like a communist right now. Just so you know.
Racism, misogyny, and Islamophobia won, as Americans affirmed white supremacy and patriarchy and hate.
We just went over this.
Hate for Muslims.
Not hate for Muslims, hate for Islam.
Refugees, people of color, the poor, the queer community. Sadly, the list seems endless.
This is what identity politics looks like. Man, I think we're seeing the real Anita here. I actually think she's legitimately depressed over this. This is an actual emotion we're seeing from Robot Sarkeesian. So maybe she is for real. Maybe she isn't as much of a bullshit artist as I previously thought. Yeah, right.
Now, it's not the time to mince words. The real-world impact of negative images and reactionary words has never been more clear.
God, you're such a simpleton, Anita.
Waking to a new day after a long and sleepless night, many of us are still in deep shock and in a deep state of mourning.
Well, I will admit I was still in shock the next day, but only because I thought Donald Trump was going to lose. Life is going to go on. You survived 8 years with George W. Bush as president, you can survive this. Snap out of it. Life will go on.
And we must give ourselves permission to grieve.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
But once we grieve, then we fight.
Round 1. Fight!
We must be organized and strategic. We cannot let hate win because this isn't just about us. This is about the world.
No, like everything feminists do, this is just about you.
And to the world we say, we refuse to surrender to the forces which seek to silence women. We will not stand idly by and allow the continued intimidation of people of color, non-Christians, LGBT folks, and all those who exist at the intersections of multiple identities.
What about the white supremacist capitalist patriarchs?
We can and we will participate in the mobilization of our communities.
And why did you not do this before the election?
We will resist the hate, and in the end, we'll win.
Viva la Révolution!
It's only through collective action that social justice can prevail. Stand in solidarity, get involved, join us.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.